All right. All right, guys. So we just bought this house in Austin, Texas, actually in the Round Rock area. And this one I wanted to make a video about because this home in particularly, we didn't have a plan or we didn't know how we were going to do it, and we didn't have like friends or crews in Austin that could do the rehab and do the remodel for this flip. And I saw this property in my Slack channel, a property that one of my buddies, Devin, was trying to wholesale, and I was just scrolling through it and I saw it, and I was like, let me take a look at this. So didn't have any intentions on buying another flip because we've already sold a bunch of them, and we have one on the market right now. We just posted in Fort Worth, and flips just have so many different headaches and surprises in them. I didn't know if I wanted to get into anymore. But I clicked on it, looked up the address, and I started looking at the numbers, and it looked like a pretty good deal. So I went through the comps. So step one, I went through the comps. I looked at the numbers, weighing out the risk, looking at the reward, profitability and risk, and was looking at the pictures. I asked Devin for the photos. He sent me some photos. And then I started looking at the comps to see like what type of rehab needed to be done to this home to get it, sold for top dollar. And I thought it was a really good deal. But the big question was, how am I going to fix this whole house without having any connections? And then a light bulb just popped off, and I was like, you know what? This is a really cool obstacle that I have right here in front of me. I got a good deal. The numbers look good. I think he had it at $185,000. We bought it from him from $190,000. So my boy Devin got $5,000 on the assignment. And the only obstacle was, like I was saying, was just not having crews, not having anyone to do the work. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, there's no way I would let this little obstacle get in my way and try to make a huge profit. So me being spontaneous and crazy, I said, you know what, let's just buy it. So the next day I called our hard money guy, and I was like, hey dude, I need this house. 3 days later he says, you're good, you can close in 3 days. And so the day of closing comes the following week, and I think it was April the 29th or something like that. And the first time we ever saw the house was April 30th. So we go down there to Austin April the 30th for the first time to put eyes on the property. And we didn't necessarily have a plan already. So what I did is I looked up all the photos from the property to see what I could tell from the photos already that I would need to get, replaced or repaired. And I just got out a piece of paper and I just started jotting down, the floors might be damaged. Home needs new paint, new light fixtures, maybe some backsplash, maybe change the bathrooms. I was looking at the comps in the neighborhood, and I'll show you guys those in a bit. And obviously, when you're doing flips, you just want to copy and paste the comps, since if it worked once, it's going to work again. And the rehab budget, or the rehab cost for the house, didn't turn out to be too high. So it kind of got me even more excited. But you never know till you put real eyes on it and really go take a look. The foundation was messed up. So what we did was we went to Austin, and once we got there, we started having interviews. I got to go back for a second. So the day before we went out there, I looked up contractors and labor workers for every trade that I wrote down on that piece of paper that could do the work. And I called every single one of them, and I told the top 3 or 4 out of each trade to meet me at the house Friday, I think it was, at 12 noon. So I had all the floor guys meet me there at 12. I had all the paint guys meet me there at 2. I had 3 foundation guys meet me there at 3 or 4. Electricians meet me there, all kinds of stuff. So Friday was literally 15 or 20 different contractors just lined up at the door. Bam, 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 bam. And we're walking them through the getting quotes, getting ideas. And at the end of Friday, the first time ever seeing the house, we had all the quotes and all the parts of the property that we needed by trade individually scheduled. So come Saturday, we already get started. One of the guys says, I can come over here, I can paint everything tomorrow. So boom, we got him locked in. And then we had a foundation. We got somebody there that said, hey, I can start Monday. So boom. So from Friday to Monday, we got paint done and foundation. We went out there a second time because we came back home on that Monday for a couple days and went back out there the next week to check on the work and see what is there to do next. So what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to run through the comps, run through the numbers that I saw, see the calculator, see how I kind of weighed out my risk and my profit, right? See how the options kind of weighed out. And then I'm going to show you the content of the videos of us, talking to the contractors, going over numbers. We did a little bit of knocking doors also while we were out there, because if we're already out there, why not try to knock a couple doors and see if we can get another property under contract and see if we could buy another house. And we actually ran into a lady that was interested in selling her house too. So that was actually really cool. So check this out. We're going to go through the numbers right now, and I'll show you what I was looking at that made me say yes and ended up buying this home 3 days later. And then you guys will see the footage of the first day we go into the home, interview the contractors, and we're going to keep getting this thing going so you can see how this flip turns out. So let's go into the comps. All right, guys. So now we're going to get into the comps. So when I first started looking at this property, of course, just like always, I pop it into PropStream, I pop it into Privy, and I just start looking at the numbers. So my boy Devin got this deal, and I was looking at the Google Drive of the photos before I started looking at any of the comps to just kind of see, what this thing looked like. And this property looks pretty good. Like from even just a bird's eye view of just glancing at this house, this doesn't look like a terrible home. We'll still got to take a look at the age it was built and, kind of see a little bit deeper and see if we can find anything that sticks out to us. But, this doesn't look like the typical super distressed or major distressed property. Of course, looking at this photo right here, you can see that, it's, it needs some power washing. This concrete's super damaged. We'll take a look at the driveway, see if that needs to be fixed. If the driveways in the neighbors' houses were fixed whenever they were sold, then, this one might need to as well. But if some of the other neighbors have messed up driveways and their homes sold just fine, then we can leave it. We'll look and see how the landscape looks in the neighbor's house too, to see if the landscape needs to be fixed here also. Remember, when you're doing these flips, you're not playing house. You're fixing them to sell for a profit. So, you don't want to go above and beyond if there's no properties sold to prove that going above and beyond is going to even make you any more money. Most of the time, it's just going to cost you more money. Okay. I really don't like the garage door color, but we'll just pass that on. So let's take a look inside. Let's see. Let's look and see. We'll just skip this part right here because we were digging into that. Okay, here we go. We got some leaks right here. This water stain noted. AC unit somewhere. Not sure what room this is in, but, got a little leak going on here. Okay, so this looks like the garage. So there's an air conditioning unit in the garage. Got some mold or something right there. Got a new door that needs to be fixed. And now I'm kind of seeing like how the flooring looks. So like when I'm doing this normally, I go pretty quick and I kind of see, how like this stuck out to me really quickly. And that's when I kind of dive in on. I don't analyze too much, on every single photo. But, that's minor. But these rooms look like they're in pretty good shape. I mean, bathroom can you take a facelift for sure. But this doesn't look bad. I mean, if you flipped homes in the past, this is like an easy one. This bathroom looks pretty smooth. Let's see if we can find some bad stuff. Okay, I see something right here. But this looks pretty good so far. Got a doggy door here. Yep, they had a dog. So you see the dog marks right here. Let's see if we can find anything else that sticks out to us. So they had a dog that chewed up a lot of the stuff. So of course you might need, already thinking whenever someone had a dog, you need new floors and paint. Sometimes interior, sometimes exterior to make it look right. again, relook at the comps. Cabinets, let's see, kitchen cabinets. These look actually pretty good. We'll see if they work in person. Working as I mean, like, you know, when you pull them, there's no like major resistance. Kitchen looks pretty good. Nothing too crazy so far. We got some siding damage right here. Now, this can get pretty pricey. If there's siding damage along the whole house, then you might be looking at a couple $1,000. But if it's just like this piece and maybe just a couple other pieces, you might be able to get away with just a repair. And then kind of to mask that repair, of course, you just paint the siding. But who knows how much siding there is on this air conditioning unit, probably within 15 years old. And this is jacked up. So based on the report that I saw, my buddy Adam, I believe he had an inspector look at it and said the foundation was messed up. And you know, I can see the foundation probably was the cause of this sidewalk getting messed up. There's a tree out here that we already know that we're going to have to remove, that's causing all this, you know, growth of, like, you know, brush and stuff on the home and maybe even impacting the foundation. But overall, the home looks like an easy flip. I mean, this is cakewalk. It doesn't look like it's going to need knocking down walls or, you know, putting any of the major stuff on there. For sure, possibly, you know, a major foundation job. But we're going to take a look at it. So this is what I was looking at first, just the photos, right? So let's go and look at these comps. Let's look at these comps. So the 3-bed, 2-bath. So what I'm going to do, I just typed in the address. I'm going to type in 3 beds, 2 baths. Now, because we already have it under contract, I'm looking to see if it's going to be a good flip. I'm not looking at too many. I'm not opening up my parameters because there's already a cash offer price. There's already a contract. I'm trying to see if this is a good deal for me. Okay, so 3-bed, 2-bath. This is a 1,400 square feet. So I'm going to do, I'll just leave it how it is actually. And then we are going to, what year is it built? 1986. We'll do 1990. Now let's look. So there's a bunch of them right here in this little group, all right next to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So literally all the way down here, right by it. So look, as you can see, 1850, that's rental. So we're going to leave that alone. We got 275. We're going to start from the top. So we got neighbor 1, neighbor 2. 2 doors down, sold for 312. 3-bed, 2-bath is sold in 34 days. A little bit smaller and a little bit smaller lot. Same age home built. So this one was built on the same street. It's 2 doors down, smaller, and 34 days at 312. We're already looking good. Let's look at these pictures. Nothing was fixed. This is not an ARV. This is an as is. Things are outdated but functioning. So this is a retail as is purchased home, and it was 312. That's looking good so far. New floor in the main areas. It's left the tile. Outside looks good. They did new concrete on the sidewalk, and they might have done new driveway. I'm not 100% sure yet. But that looks good, 312. So we're going to mark that on our list as a comp. We got a 310. What's that, number 3? So across the street on the corner, 310. There's no photos, so we're going to use Google to see if we can find photos of this one. Got some photos. This one looks good. They got a new driveway. They have a new sidewalk also. So there must be foundation issues going on around this street, because most of them have new sidewalks, and this driveway looks new. So let's keep digging. Oh, they don't have more photos? How do you work this website? Let's see. Okay, well, just the exterior. So we're going to mark that as well. Boom. And then let's see. We got a, oh shoot, this is recent. 335, 49 days. Number 4. Boom, right here. 335. This is the same street also. So we got, it looks like new windows, but they just put trim around the windows. That's a little trick that flippers do. If they can't replace the windows, they put trim around the windows because it'll make you think that they got some new windows. They did do a new little sliding door here probably. Backyard looks good. They did nice these little paver rocks with some mulch, little patio in the back. It's nice. Bathrooms look pretty good, cleaned up. You know, it's not the colors that people liked right now, but it did sell for $330, $335. It looks clean. floors, painted the fireplace area. See this kitchen, how'd they do in the kitchen? They left the tile in the kitchen, and let's see, stainless appliances, and they did a little fabrication on the cabinets, it looks like. And I mean, this is a cute house. So obviously we're going to need to do a little bit of work to get it to match this one, but not a tremendous amount. I mean, the home's already in pretty decent good condition, and this one sold in 49 days at $335. So that's a good sign. So we're going to mark that in our bucket too. And then we have a $345, smaller. So this one's bigger. So we got another one for $345 and another one for $345. So let's take a look at this one. Cute backyard, nice kitchen, nice countertops on that one. Oh, this was nice. This one's nice. They did nice floors, nice bathrooms. They redid it right here. $345 is the best ARV comp we have so far. This $335 is a pretty good one. Like, they did a pretty decent job. $345 going a little bit more higher end. I don't like days on market on this one, and I don't like days on market on this one. 95 and 202. So you see the resistance once you start hitting the 340s versus the 335 at 49 days, 310, and 312. So let's take a look at this one for picture's sake. Oh yeah, I mean, this sells for 345. We can do this all day. I mean, this is easy. So we have a good idea right now already that ARV is going to be between, because this is as is the 310, 312, but ARV is between 330 and 345. Already, we can already identify that. Let's look at this one, 355. I like that. You got this nice little backyard patio. So what I'm going to do, now that I have these, I'm going to put ARV at 330. I'm not going to go high as 335 or 345. I'll go 345, but we already know the range. I'm going to be conservative and put 330 as ARV. So I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to put in here 330. And repair cost, we're going to, looking at these photos of the house before, I know that I'm going to need foundation work. I'm going to need new floors. I'm going to need tile in these bathrooms, probably 2 new toilets. So after we, walked this property and looked at it, the rehab cost was between $35,000 and $45,000. So I'm just going to put it on $40,000 for rehab, okay? That's what we put on our rehab sheet since we bought this home last week, okay? So $40,000 on rehab. Now, the contract with the seller, Devin got this under contract at $185. And then we purchased this home. He was paid $5,000. We got it for $190. Now, this is what the calculator looks at like so far. Typically, I like to say if it's over 15%, it's a decent flip. Anything higher than that's better. But with our hard money lender and the guys that we use as resources because we've done a lot of flips, our holding costs are not $16,000. Our holding cost is actually it's a little bit higher than that. So we're going to do one. Our holding cost is actually $2,500 for 3 months. Right? And our closing cost, because we have a broker in Austin that we use for 1%. So 1% to the listing agent, and we'll just predict 3% for the buyer agent. So that's 4 total percent. So we have a 1% for the listing agent, ours, and another 3%. Possibly we can negotiate 2%, but I'll put 4 for listing agent and buyer agent, 4% max. Boom. So now this increases our profitability to about $85,000 if we go up to 40 grand on the rehab. Now, after we've already been to the home, I know I'll probably be able to get this all done within 30 grand. But this is what the numbers look like. I went a little bit higher on the rehab. I was very conservative on my ARV. We probably really can get 340, 338, 335. But just to be conservative, this is how I was working my numbers so I can come up with a good, in case something goes wrong or we have these random issues come up in the property, which all these flips have random issues, so that we can always be safe than sorry. So as is value is 310. Repair cost is going to be 40 grand. Days on market for this home, like I was showing you guys before, as is between 34 and 44. And then right here at like 49. So let me actually just take this off. Look, we got average days on market 42. Boom, 42 days on market. So let's say we fix this home in 45 days and then 45 days on market. This could be a 90-day closed, start to finish, done flip. And we're going to see if we can do that. Repair items, I already just showed them to you, so we don't need to put that there. But that's how I underwrote this deal. Now, that's just prop stream. So I always like to co-sign my evidence on Privy as well. So I put the address right here in Privy. Here's some of the older photos of the house before, which is crazy to see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I click comparables, and these are the homes around it. Now, just a bird's eye view. Pretend you're a bird real fast and just do a bird's eye view of properties just like this one sold in this little box. You know, you can see the numbers of these homes, how common they are, and how it's 320, 325, 345, 315, 325, 350, 330, 338, 355. You can see the average right here of this home. So ARV is right on the money. And these homes that were 315, that's a cute one actually. A lot of these homes have new siding and new exteriors because they got hit with a tornado. So that's how I ran my numbers on the property. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys with us as we get to the home and how we start interviewing contractors for each trade, like paint. We found foundation guys, tree trimming, and also to redo the sidewalk. And then we go back again, we get paint done, and I'm going to take you guys along this. So you guys check this out. So we just looked at the numbers, and this looks like a pretty safe deal. We purchased this home for $190. Profit looks like 84 grand. I went a little bit higher on the rehab at 40 grand. We do have a good deal with a broker in Austin, so we don't need to, we save 2%, but we're also anticipating to pay a full 3% for a buyer agent. So we got 4. I know our holding cost is $2,500. So I put that right in there. And so that's what's special about you knowing your numbers versus you just making numbers up and predicting. Like me buying this flip, I know exactly how these numbers are going to pan out. So now let's go take a look at the house. Okay, guys. So remember, when we were heading to Austin, I already called the contractors to meet me at the house. So by the time we got to the house for the very first time, we already had contractors at the door waiting to give us quotes. So here's some of the interactions of us interviewing these contractors and getting everybody for the trade so we can get started on this flip.
What were you saying?
We
I'm sorry.
can put anything, but yeah.
So, okay, one quote for this, one for remove the concrete,
Yeah, remove and reinstall.
and for the trees.
Yeah, all the trees together. All the trees together, and then this all together. Can he? Can he take that off? All those tree stuff?
Dice que si le puede quitar eso.
Le podemos trimear los arbolitos todo atrás si quieren una
Just
sola
the
vez.
window or like.
Yeah. So all the
The exterior, so we want to get...
all this gone. Oh, sorry. Let me get my camera. Oops. Yeah, all this gone right here, and then todo eso shit, and then this too, and then all the stuff over here as well. Yeah, all that. Is that something he could do?
Says he can do for 650 for the trees and everything here, and he also will do the yard, like the back.
$650 for the trees?
And he also will help you doing the mowing the lawn. Like,
Really? Este también?
¿Eso también?
See?
Stump, like
Oh.
dig up the stump.
Deal.
You're going to dig up the stump?
Ya.
Dice que va a quitar el
Deal.
tronco.
Sí, porque hay que tener una máquina para demolerlo.
Yeah. Because we were expecting it's going to be torn up, right? Like...
He said he has to rent like a machine.
Yeah, whatever.
Now, John, I mean, I don't know.
Whose tree is this?
I think that the property line is probably just based on where they mow.
Oh yeah, bro.
Where that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is
That's the shit too.
I do want to talk to him. I don't know if
Yeah, that's our tree. The backyard line's right here.
so.
Este también.
Si otros quieren mover eso.
If we gotta pay extra for that, we will.
Yeah.
He said for that one probably not 300. Because it would take more time.
Yeah, let's please do that. When can he start?
¿Cuándo podrías empezar?
Pues ahorita tengo unos trabajos allá, pero ya lo quieren hacer.
¿Cuándo podrías ser más o menos?
So we bought this house yesterday. Never seen it. We're from Dallas. We drove here, bought it. First time we walked into it, we're like, all right, we need to get some guys
That's good.
get working on it. So they've been like, don't be scared. Like there's so many guys that run businesses that want to do the work. You know what I mean? And you don't need to have a huge crew or a huge network to get started. You know, like after, you know, just even what we're hearing right now, we do another one. We're doing trees. We're going with him. You know, like right, like
Yeah.
that's you start off a crew by not having a crew. So he just quoted us about half of what everyone else was quoting us. So that's a huge win. I got pretty excited about that. Everybody else was quoting $4,000, $2,500 to do this work. This guy said $750. So we doing it. Super cool.
Tiene lo que hizo debajo. Lo mejor esta casa fue que se movió para abajo.
Okay.
La casa, la condición se ha movido.
He said how's like the foundation?
Yeah.
Because it has to be
When can you start?
¿Cuándo podrías?
El sábado.
He said Saturday because he lived.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here Saturday.
Take some measurements here.
Yeah.
Give you a price for the concrete.
Cool. Yeah. Let's do it. Thank you, man. We'll be right here.
I thought you left a zero off of that price.
Me too. So guys, like I was telling you guys in the driveway, you heard Ian just now. He said, I thought they left a zero off of it. And that's what we were being quoted from 4 or 5 other guys that have already been in here. Yeah, it's 3,500, 4,000, you know, tree removal and all those kinds of things. And
Well, because obviously, you know, you have tree trimming, right? Tree removal, where you chop down a tree, and then full-on stump removal. And most of the, arborists and those type of people that I've worked with in the past, they go by the mass, right? So how much debris are they hauling off? How thick is the tree? All that stuff. How deep do you have to dig? These are some huge freaking stumps. And there's 2 of them in the front yard that are old trees, super deep in the ground. And then there's, obviously some shrubs on the other side of the driveway that they're removing. He gave us a very, very good price, in my opinion.
yeah,
So we'll roll with it. We had already gotten 2 other stump removal quotes that were about triple what we were just quoted. So we're gonna give this guy a shot, and hopefully it pays off. But
yeah, I'm excited.
so far we're under budget. Don't
Yep.
tell anybody.
Yep, definitely. We have only been here for 3.5 hours. We've interviewed 5 people, gotten about, I would like to say, almost 50% of the major work scheduled or set up and quoted. So I would definitely say a lot of progress. We just need to work on this kitchen, bathrooms, and we be getting ready to roll.
Yeah.
This is gonna get done a lot more simple than we expected.
Obviously, slightly different color than the wall.
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
Both white, but different shades.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
white.
yeah. Okay.
You paint this part
What you would do is
dark.
Yeah.
Dark. You need to paint the ceiling dark.
Is this black?
This.
Because I have a black fireplace at my house.
Looks tight.
It's not bad. Tina doesn't like it, but it's not a bad accent. We could do black. We could.
Black looks dope, man. No one's gonna be like, oh, I don't like the black fireplace. Everyone's
I
gonna.
think I saw that video. This is my house. So that's the black fireplace. We're gonna redo it, but
Yeah, but this is not brick. You look different.
yeah, it's still brick. It's different, but
It looks.
Yeah,
It looks dope, bro.
No, look.
I think we should do, because it has the black windows. We should do black.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do black.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It is black.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Black.
It's okay for me.
He's like you're gonna fuck it up.
No, for me it's okay. It's your decision. But I
What do you
try.
think?
No,
I try
it's
to-
black. No matter what.
It has.
¿Cuál es el asunto?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
What color?
So that's one thing that's a little bit different about me. I don't ever ask nobody about their opinion. They're talking about what color to do the fireplace, even though it's black. We already know.
Just fireplace, but not that the black. No. No. That would be-
Okay, I'm start tomorrow maybe in the morning or in the middle day. I
Primer, what?
primer, paint, sand the cabinets. In Spanish say desengrasante.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Disgrace.
Yeah, yeah, same.
Use a liquid chemicals for disgrace all cabinets. Sand, primer, sand, and paint. Include all materials. House, new.
Yeah.
The paint changes all house.
Oh, yeah.
The paint changes all house. This is my work. So you confía. You need the I say in English trust.
First.
Trust.
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 Is that how you say it in Spanish?
In Spanish say confía.
Confía,
like confidence. Confidence. Sí, sincero. For me, this is my word. You check my Facebook page.
I did.
You check my Facebook page the after work and before work.
Yeah.
So the
Laredo.
8 hours for us for Austin.
Yeah.
The yard, put the tree, put this plant, put this plant, and the other plant.
That could take. What did the guy say? A week or two?
The foundation people just said 5 days, and you know that guy is that guy in the concrete.
Okay.
It's
Yeah. The foundation and concrete.
No,
And-
it's okay.
We'll figure it out. I mean, shit.
No, it's okay.
Wait.
Look, for example, tomorrow I'm painting interior. The guys for foundation all this week.
Yeah.
All this week, I'm gonna start the May 5.
For exterior paint. Yeah, and that'll be like what?
The exterior paint,
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
2 days. 2 days. 2 people. Fast. And this part is more complicated because I need to repair the walls. I need to repair the. For example, this is my work. Change completely your house
Yeah.
for you.
So we'll start with the inside. How much for the inside? How much for the inside again? The
Interior.
walls, interior fixes. and
The price?
Yeah, we'll do we could do the kitchen, the exterior, on the finish.
Yeah, for example, I'm start the interior. Only give me the 50% only for the material. You pay me the Saturday. You look my work. Pay me the Saturday, and this is the first work for you. Okay. So paint the cabinets. Only give me for example, interior and exterior and cabinets. The only discount, sorry, but it's 8. This is the price.
So, how much is it to paint the inside?
Inside is 3 cents.
But that includes
The baseboards.
the drywall, the baseboards.
Include the drywall, the baseboard, the paint, the ceiling, the inside of the closets, the trim in the closet, cover the halls, all.
That sheetrock, drywall, paint,
They repair this part.
baseboards.
This hallway.
Okay.
So we could do that. We could do that part first. The paint, drywall, sand,
The interior.
like that. The interior. We do the kitchen after.
I bet money it's okay.
Because we like Zell.
So we got somebody to do the floor just now. Looking at this bathroom. But we just found somebody to do the floor right now. Baseboards, paint. What's kind of cool is we got this little idea.
So it's like they gotta rip all of
Let's
them
see
up.
if I can show you. We got this little idea out here on the outside. We're going to paint this wall like a light blue. Get the house looking real nice, looking like a nice little new home for a family. Looking to get this job done pretty quick. We just got out here maybe a couple hours ago. Already interviewed maybe 3 or 4 different contractors, comparing prices, getting people started. This guy's gonna start tomorrow. I'll be back out here Saturday, show you guys the progress. Foundation guys should be coming out here next week on Monday. Tree removal guy for the front be out here probably. I mean, I hope so. I mean, I think that tree removal guy is supposed to be coming in like 15 minutes actually. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, just on. Yeah.
Okay, you put it in the garage. Put it in the garage.
Yeah.
So the whole concept of this is to take on a challenge that we really didn't have any experience doing when it comes to like fixing and flipping a property in an area where we know absolutely nobody. Networking real fast, getting out there and getting people over here, you know. Come to find out, man, you'd be surprised how many people have small businesses that are looking for work. There's so many guys out there that start a paint company, start a floor company that are looking for work, and they're desperate to find work, and they're looking for somebody that's in a situation just like this that is trying to compete for the job. And it does feel good to be able to feed a small business, a new business owner, you know, in this whole journey. So I'm really excited about that. And we'll give you the code.
Okay. So, do you have another question?
No, I'm excited.
Call us
Tomorrow.
Thanks, brother.
You guys
No, it's
Appreciate it. How do you say the name of your company?
Ponce.
Andres Ponce.
Andres
My name?
Pontes? Yeah. Ponce?
Andres Ponce.
Andres
And
Ponce?
The company is Ponce Painting.
Ponce paint.
All right, guys. I'm over here with Ponce Painting right here. Came out here, gave us a quote. We're excited. Saw his company on Facebook, and excited to give it a shot. He's gonna fix the baseboards, paint all over the house, and do a lot of good work. I mean, his reviews look good, and just gonna show you guys that just because you don't know people doesn't mean you can't do something. There's small business owners out there everywhere looking for work, looking to make an impact in the economy, looking to get their business really rocking and rolling. And so with all these different platforms like Facebook and Thumbtack that you can find small business owners on that are really out there just really trying to get ahead of the fight and get business. That's really why it doesn't scare me to do jobs in areas that I don't live in. You know, I'll come here 2-3 times a week, manage the job, adjust things as they go, and learn a shit ton. And, you know, I hope this inspires a lot of people that, you know, maybe want to get started in fixing and flipping and you just don't know how to do it. We're literally doing this job with not even knowing what the issues looked like really besides some photos before we bought it. Today was the first day that we ever walked inside the property. We discovered some issues right off the bat and started looking up people that do it and gave them a call, and they're all showing up now, giving us quotes, and this guy's starting tomorrow. So don't be scared to get started. Don't let that fear get in the way of you, jumping outside the box and doing something courageous and doing something that you really want to do. Because, we got this flip for probably, I think it was 185 or 190,000. We're probably going to sell this for 340, and make, who knows, 80, 90, hopefully $100,000. And all it takes is a little bit of courage. And I'd love to teach you guys exactly how to really get started in that. That's why we started the school community, is to show people how they can get started, how to find out what needs to be repaired, what needs to be done. Because fixing and flipping is fun. There's a lot of headaches. A lot of people don't do it because there's the surprises, and there's surprises in all businesses. There's surprises in every business. So you can't be scared of doing something because of the surprises. Always check your numbers. It's all about the numbers first, and get the job done, sell it, make profit, double down, do it again. So I'm excited to take you guys along this journey. This is episode 1. And every time I come back, we're going to do another one. So,
All right, guys. So you just saw we comped the property, we got to the property, and we started interviewing contractors. We interviewed probably 25, 30 different contractors. We got some content on 2 or 3 of them. And that whole first day, when we got to the property, it was just all about finding people to piece together all the work so that we can properly schedule it and execute it to get it all rolling. So tomorrow, we actually have the tree trimming guy coming out, and I believe the day after that, the paint guy is going to go and paint the interior of the house. That's going to be Saturday. And then Monday, we got the foundation crew going out there and getting started on that. So you guys stay tuned for the second part of this flipping the house in Round Rock with no contractors, no crew. And you guys see how it all turns out. Appreciate you for watching.